Now, in India, it looks like the pause to Australians being able to return home from India will end, as expected, on the 15th of May. The best part of, 6 days from now? Some of the first people to come out are going to be sick kids who are there, and I don't know why they are there without their parents, but still, they are. Here's the Prime Minister talking about why the ban that I think as soon as polling comes out, it's going to show is wildly popular, why it is still the best thing to do to make sure that our country doesn't end up importing extra cases of coronavirus.
We need to prevent people coming who have been in India during the last 14 days because the risk of infection that they're bringing is very high. That's the medical advice. I think it hasn't been helpful for these things to be exaggerated. These powers have been around for 14 months and they've been used responsibly and proportionately and effectively, and that's what we're doing now. It's my responsibility to do everything I can to prevent a third wave in this country.
Makes sense, right? Australians, after how many elections have made it clear this is what we want? 0 cases. Fairly, unfairly, yes, there's consequences as a result of it, and it's why our budget's going to be as big as it's going to be on Tuesday. But the Prime Minister, when asked about this today in turning up in the Sunday papers, he doubled down this way and talked about those international borders reopening. I don't see an appetite for it at the moment. I think we're seeing at the moment there's an appreciation for people that the pandemic isn't going anywhere. Anyone in New South Wales would know right now because there's a couple of cases last week. But the restrictions are going to continue for another week. The Prime Minister said that we sit here as an island that's living like few countries in the world at the moment. We have to be careful not to exchange that way of life for what everyone else has. Correct. But as always, maximum politics to be played here. I think we'll get a news poll at some point in the next couple of days. As soon as we get it, if it is tonight, we'll of course report it to you. The media's obsession with one issue was able to get things to go backwards for the government a couple of months ago, but after that obsession changed, things returned to a more even keel. Prime Minister's numbers still staying pretty high, the government remaining more than competitive. But the Queensland government exists in many ways just to bitch and moan about the federal government because the Labor Party in Queensland wants to take a couple of seats off the Morrison government, which is why a government that has promised before its own re-election to have an unemployment rate all the way till halfway through this year as at least worse than the national average, a place that has been pinged by the Auditor-General for its spending, well, of course, wants to blame border closures now, the international border closures, for their economic position. Unsurprisingly, getting a free and a rails run in the Brisbane media today. And get ready for this, because it feels like it's every single day. It's the entire political purpose of the Queensland government is to find a reason to blame the government, hoping to shift some votes at an election most likely next year.